All right, my wonderful, wonderful friends. I think it's time to start to learn chemistry and mud fossils and all that because everything is a little different than we were originally thought. And it doesn't take a lot. I know a lot of people are stressed, have no money whatsoever, and I understand that. And I think at some point, I would love to see a way of providing just these basic few little things to somebody so that they can get a basic understanding of science and chemistry and light, magnetism, fossilization process using microscopes, chemistry, and what you're looking at here, I don't know how much it costs, maybe a couple $100, I don't know, $150. But everybody should have access to this kind of stuff to do, everybody's got these little phones and stuff, and they do all kinds of things. So they may not even need some of this stuff, but you do need some real basic chemistry, and you need to get obviously a periodic table. I think this came with this, but I don't see it here. This comes with a lot of stuff. This is what they call a crash and burn chemistry set. It's just for kids basically to learn the principles of chemistry, but there's a lot in here that even some of the chemists don't really know, I don't think. This gives you ferric chloride, potassium sulfate, potassium, potassium, sulfur, calcium. There's all different types of reactive chemistry. And you see these little bottles here? And then you get these little packets of powders. And then you get a test tube, clamp, latex gloves, magnesium ribbon, test tube. It's a real basic set, but it's a good starter. And then they tell you how to do things, um, and then what you need is also, well, what you should get is some magnets and start to learn what magnetism does. Watch this. As I approach this, watch what happens. You see it's get dark in the center and glowy way out there, and all of a sudden, bang. And when I hit it, it really sucks right up tight to this. These are magnetic particles. And you can recharge this. See this? By doing that. Anyway, and you should get some lasers because we can accelerate light and do more than physics can do. You can do more than Fermilab can do right now in your garage with what you're seeing right here. And you might need a cell phone too, but I think most everybody has one now. There are certain ones that seem to be better. Now, a little microscope is really good. Now, I have this one here. This one's really old and beat up, and I got to clean it. Look at that. Oh, jeez. Anyway, these are. You need this. You absolutely need this if you're going to do the mud fossils. Oh my goodness. Anyway, keep it clean. And then I do a lot of demonstrations, so I need a lot of little gizmos and gadgets and things to show, but you don't really need all that stuff. You need to start understanding chemistry, and that's what I'm going to teach. And I've had people thinking that I'm a real school, and now I guess I'm going to have to be, because all this has to be retaught from a perspective of understanding nucleophilic invasion, and all of the things that mud fossils brings to light, and then all of the chemistry that electron flood theory changes. Because Bohr model never worked. They agree it doesn't work. They just don't know what to do about it, and they won't come around and talk to Roger. So they're going to be walking in their little circles. And we will walk on our little straight path to the truth. So somehow we got to be able to get, and even if you had like 4 or 5 people together and they could get together and work together on these things, you don't have to have 4 or 5 sets of these things. And I think these are pretty cheap. I don't know, like $20 or something. It was really cheap. This, I see them online for like 40, $50, something like that. And these little lasers, whatever they cost, I don't think they're much. And you could even use construction laser. I got this one here. This is what Rod used. Rod used this to do all that light acceleration stuff. All it is construction lasers. So a lot of people have these, if they do, work in their house and they want to measure something, these are very accurate. And it's a pulsed red laser, and we can accelerate light. And then we need to get some, we may have to buy some solar cells or some kind of different things to give to people so that they can experiment with them. Because I think we can get free energy right now, but we can't get anybody to pay attention, so we have to do it ourselves. All right, but this is going to require some assistance, or at least the people that are going to be able to do it have to be able to put up some money, and that's a problem nowadays, and I know it, and I feel terrible for people, but I can't fund it. I'm getting by, but I can't provide this to everybody. I'll give you my knowledge, and we can work together on it. And hopefully, if we get this little forum going, we can interact and do this stuff, because that's all it takes. That's all it takes. If, I have a pretty good understanding of this stuff. As long as I don't die tomorrow, we're probably going to get some of this stuff out. All right, but again, these are the kind of just little things like this. All right, I love you all. We're going to get some knowledge going that's based on what I think is truth. And electron flood theory, if you're not working with that, you're done. And all it is this right here. There's nothing that doesn't exist of this. These are electrons, and 1,839 of them make a proton. And then they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger as the particles get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And the more and more and more electrons want to flood in to attach to these black particles. That's gravity. We're going to go through all of this in so much detail. I hope I won't bore you. And a lot of people say they really enjoy it. So you're going to learn, and I think you enjoy it too. I enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy it, c'est la vie, c'est la guerre. Es el amor.